Hello students. Before proceeding with the discussion of today's topic, let us glance quickly to the syllabus of digital image processing. And we have finished the introductory concepts of digital image processing. And next to that, in the previous discussion, we have discussed the fundamental steps in digital image processing. This is what happened in our previous discussion. And in today's discussion, we are going to continue with the topic components of image processing. Let us move for the presentation. So, today we are going to see the components of image processing. So, what are the components needed for uh, processing the image in a system? So, this diagram is a typical block diagram that is going to show the typical general purpose DIP system. Okay, it shows what are the components needed for performing the image processing in the system. So first of all, we have to decide the object whose image is to be captured, and that is referred as the problem domain. Next to that, the image of that object, is to be captured, and the capturing device is usually camera. In the camera, the important element is sensor. How the image sensor is going to operate and what are the concepts with respect to sensors we are going to see. Next to image sensor, we should have in our system a specialized image processing hardware, and similarly we should have a specialized image processing software, and obviously we should have a computer, a digital computer. And since the image processing needs a massive storage unit, we have to have in our system mass storage unit. And next, after processing back, the images are to be displayed, and for the displaying units are usually monitors, and nowadays for nowadays application they are the color TV monitors. And apart from that, we are going to take the printout of the images. For recording the images, we want hard copying unit. And lastly, the most obvious thing of for every computer system is it should be network. We should have the network, that is the must with every computer's systems of today's application. So we shall see all these one after another. The first thing is we are talking regarding image sensor. So, what the image sensor is, it is a physical device which is usually present in the camera. It is sensitive to the energy radiated by the object. Means it is going to capture the light emitted by the object and converts it into electrical quantity. And the electrical quantity, the output of the sensor, is analog in nature. Since we intend to process on a digital computer, that analog electrical quantity is to be converted into a digital electrical quantity. So for that we need a digitizer. And nowadays sensors are usually having the digitizers as integrated integral part of the sensors. Sensors with digitizers are available nowadays. But if those are not there, then we have to maintain a digitizer in our specialized image processing hardware. So usually this specialized hardware unit, usually it consists of a digitizer. So along with this digitizer, the other thing that is mainly present is ALU. And what this ALU is going to do, it performs arithmetic and logical operations. But the speciality is it is going to perform in parallel on entire images. And this specialized hardware unit is referred as front end system. It is referred as front end subsystem. And what is the distinguishing characteristic of this because of this hardware, we are going to have a high speed operations, fast data throughputs, are the very distinguishing characteristics of the front end subsystem of which our specialized image processing hardware unit. Next to that, we are going to talk regarding computers. So, in our system, in image processing system, we should obviously have the digital computer. It is an obvious thing that we should have. So, the computer can be a general purpose computer. Depending on application, that computer is going to range from ordinary PC to supercomputer. If the application is simple with ordinary PC only, we can process. Depending on the complexity of the application, we can go till supercomputers also. And if at all we want for some dedicated application, we can have specially designed computers also. And with using the specially designed computers, we can achieve the required level of performance. Next to computers, we shall discuss regarding specialized software modules. Software for image processing, they usually consist software for image processing. They consist of specialized modules to perform specific image processing tasks, like specific tasks like noise removal, edge crispening, edge sharpening. Just use that software. Edges are getting sharpened. Use that software. Noise is removed. Like that, they are going to perform specific image processing tasks. And this software package, the well designed software package, should have the capability of for user. It should allow the user to write certain minimum code for utilizing the specialized model. What is needed is, if at all we need to use these specialized modules for our image processing task, the user has to write some minimum code for utilizing these specialized modules. Next to the specialized image processing software, we are next talking about mass storage capability. Mass storage capability is must in image processing application. Just take the example of image of size 1024 by 1024 pixels. For storing that small size image, we need 1 megabyte of storage space. Okay, so storage space is very much needed. More space is needed for storing the images. So the images that are considered in the image processing systems are categorized into three groups. One is short term storage, which is usually used during processing. The next one is online storage. It is having the characteristic of fast recalling, fast accessing. Then third category is archival storage, and it is a very mass storage unit. It is characterized by infrequent access. It is very infrequently accessed. And we shall see all these three in more detail. Okay. uh, Short storage. One of the short storage is there in the computer memory. One method of providing the short term storage is just use the memory that is there in the computer. That is a short term storage. And the other kinds of short term storages are examples frame buffers, and these frame buffers are used to store one or more images, and they can accessed very fastly, very rapidly. Next to that, we shall talk about online storage methods. And these online storage methods, these storage units allow the user for performing zooming, for scrolling means vertical shift, for panning means horizontal shift of the image. And usually for having this online storages, they we use magnetic disk and optical media storages. And what is the Key factor, characterizing key factor of this online storage is we are going to have frequent access to store data. More oftenly they are being accessed. And finally, we talk about archival storage units. Archival storage units. And these storage are usually meant for storing a mass storage. They are characterized by massive storage requirements. And the thing is, they are usually infrequently accessed. This is what we have talked about, three kinds of storages we come across in image processing system. Next we shall talk about image displays. And usually for nowadays application, for displaying the images, the color TV monitors are used. And usually these monitors are driven by image cards or graphic cards, which are the integral parts of the computer system. In the computer system we do have image card or graphic card. Output of those image card or graphic card is given to the display unit, those monitors. Display unit means monitors. Next we are going to talk about the hard copying devices. They are mainly meant for recording the images. So for that, taking the printout. And for that we usually use laser printers, inkjet units, film cameras, heat sensitive devices. And also we use the digital units such as optical or CD-ROM disk. This is what we have talked about the hard copying device. Lastly, we are going to talk about the networking that is needed in the image processing system. So, in today's application, in any of the computer, the networking is almost the default function. Networking is the default function in any of the today's computer system. And for image processing, these networking should have large transmission bandwidth. It should have large transmission bandwidth. So if we do have the dedicated network specifically designed for our image processing application, then that is not a problem. They are designed for giving the large bandwidth itself. But if at all we are going to have the using the common internet, then these are not usually efficient. They are not efficiently providing the purpose of communication. For particularly image and video processing, using the general internet is not usually efficient. We should have high bandwidth. Usually dedicated internet networking should be provided for image processing tasks. This is what we have discussed regarding the various components that are needed in image processing system. Hope you have understood.